Michelle Lemire will now offer some remarks on why Canada needs to pass a law that recognizes a preborn child as a second victim when a crime is committed against a pregnant woman.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Lemire. I've lived in Ottawa for the past 4 years, and I was born and raised in Windsor, Ontario. I'm here on behalf of my friend, Cassie Cake, and her family. On December 11th, 2014, my life changed forever. I received a phone call informing me that my best friend of 26 years had died. I was paralyzed with emotion. I felt agony, pain, and confusion. At that moment, I was barely able to ask, "What about the baby?" They were both gone, and I completely lost it. She was 7 months pregnant at the time of her death. As if this news wasn't horrible enough, a few days later, we found out the reality of the situation. They had been murdered. Cassie was deserving, grateful to be having a baby. She was confident, thoughtful, and caring, and above all, she loved to laugh. Attributes she would have passed along to her daughter, Molly. It was apparent at Cassie and Molly's funeral that their deaths had a great loss on so many people. How could this have happened to them? Windsor and the surrounding area have been deeply affected by this tragedy. A permanent scar has been left on her place of work, her community, family, and friends. When Cassie was murdered, her daughter was not recognized as a human being under Canadian criminal law, only because she had not yet exited her mother's womb. As a result of this legal shortcoming, no murder charge will ever be laid against the person who viciously took Molly's life. Unfortunately, Cassie and Molly's story is one of many. Something needs to change. Molly Matters campaign was created to bring awareness to this injustice. 2 different petitions were created under the same name, and signatures are being collected in communities across Canada. We are very optimistic such a law could be passed. In fact, some years ago, it nearly did. In 2007, Edmonton MP Ken Epp introduced Bill C484. The bill was called the Unborn Victims of Crime Act. Mr. Epp's bill passed second reading in Parliament but failed to become law because an election was called in the fall of 2008. However, his bill had cross-party support, and there is still majority support for it today. The reality is, when a pregnant woman is attacked and her assailant kills or causes harm to her preborn child, no charge can ever be laid in that child's death. This is fundamentally wrong. This legislative void allows further victimization of women and their children. Allow me to be very clear. Abortion is legal in Canada throughout the entire 9 months of pregnancy for any reason. Preborn victims law does nothing to change this. A preborn victims bill modeled after Bill C484 would not criminalize abortion and cannot be interpreted as Parliament restricting a woman's right to choose to have an abortion. A law protecting preborn victims of crime is sensible. This is a step in the right direction and supported by the majority of Canadians from across the political spectrum. In a few weeks, Canada will have a new government. We are calling upon all members of Parliament to do everything they can to act quickly in implementing protections for children in the womb. and we respectfully ask Mr. Harper, Mr. Mulcair, and Mr. Trudeau to stop treating preborn children as if they are just a political liability. Thank you.